From high atop the battlements of Castle Curmudgeon, where nothing says lovin' like a wild boar in the oven. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. Welcome to the Blast Radius. I am your intrepid correspondent and humble servant. Here is your Decline of Western Civilization news roundup for the work week ending the 8th of December, 2023. Dateline Dubai, Monday, 4 December. Former senator, failed presidential candidate, and charter member of the Narrow Birth Canal Society, John Kerry. Speaking at something called the COP28 Climate Conference in Dubai, which seems a bit like holding an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting at the Jose Cuervo factory, but this reporter digresses, says he is militant, I say, in his belief that not one more coal-fired power plant should be permitted anywhere in the world forever. Quote, and I apologize in advance for the tortured syntax, but this is a direct quote. We don't need that necessarily to tell us we ought to be transitioning out of coal. There shouldn't be any more coal power plants permitted anywhere in the world. That's how you can do something for health. And the reality is that we're not doing it. I've become more militant about coal plants because I don't understand how adults who are in positions of responsibility can be avoiding responsibility for taking away those things that are killing people on a daily basis. End quote. Reached for comment, former senator, failed presidential candidate, and charter member of the I Invented the Internet Society, Albert Gore Jr. said, quote, who the hell told John Kerry he gets to be the climate change guy? I think that fucker needs to get off my Kool-Aid, frankly. Remember back when I made that lame-ass movie with all the fancy computer graphics showing how every coastal city in America was going to be inundated underwater by 2015? Does that not count for anything anymore? I think John Kerry and I should settle this matter in a Hell in a Cell match at the next WrestleMania, and the winner gets a championship belt that says, climate change guy. Reached for comment, WWE Chief Operating Officer Triple H said, quote, are you fucking kidding me? I just brought CM Punk back to the company, so I'm kind of on thin ice here as it is. So I'm going to take a hard pass on this slap fight between these two pathetic old grifter douchebags, end quote. Dayline Washington, Tuesday, 5 December. The presidents of Penn, Harvard, and MIT testified on Capitol Hill on Tuesday, and each one refused to confirm, despite being given at least 5 opportunities each, that calls for the religious genocide of all Jewish people would constitute bullying or harassment under the respective codes of conduct for their respective high-priced diploma mills. Universities. Penn President Liz McGill, MIT President Sally Kornbluth, and Harvard President Claudine Gay. A black woman named Gay? Jesus Christ, she's one disability away from winning the intersectional Powerball lottery jackpot, all stated under repeated questioning from Representative and Harvard alumna Elise Stefanik of New York that calls for an entire group of people to be violently killed on the basis of their religion might not necessarily violate campus hate speech rules, and it would depend on the individual context. In other words, each one of these university presidents openly intimated that there exists some sort of context where it's fine to say you think a certain ethnic group ought to be eradicated from the face of the earth. President McGill of Penn has since resigned in disgrace, while President Gay of Harvard issued a statement saying, quote, look, I really regret having said the quiet part out loud. Please, please, please don't make me resign from my fabulously well-paid job that I only have in the first place because I tick so many delicious intersectional boxes, end quote. President Kornbluth of MIT issued her own statement saying, quote, I don't see what the big damn deal is. It's not like anybody said something really offensive like boys have a penis and girls have a vagina, end quote. While it's widely expected that Presidents Gay and Kornbluth will also be forced to resign in disgrace just like President McGill, we can all rest easy, knowing they will each get their own Netflix documentary and a 7-figure book deal and a job as a CNN contributor, because we've seen this movie enough times by now to know how the drill works. When you're a disgraced woke idiot, you always fail upward and you always get richer. Dateline, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Wednesday, 6 December. Republican presidential candidates, and we use that term advisedly, Chris Christie and Nikki Haley have joined together in one strong, unified voice of small government conservatism, at least that's what they call it, to declare that government has no business in passing legislation to ban ghoulish Frankenstein pervert doctors from hacking off the healthy sex organs of minor children. According to Christie, quote, and yeah, this is a real honest to God quote, Republicans believe in less government, not more, in less involvement with government, not more government involvement in people's lives, end quote. And with moral clarity like that, I think we can all agree that the future of American conservatism is in good and capable hands, except when those hands are holding a box of jelly donuts, in which case he might get distracted for a while. Meanwhile, Ms. Haley, who recently began accepting huge campaign checks from some of the same Democrat mega donors who helped propel Joe Biden to the presidency in 2020, allegedly, said, quote, I know I am the best candidate to defeat Bill Clinton in 1996. It is time for Bob Dole to step aside, or I will kick him right in the dick with my high heels. Because have I mentioned that I am a woman with a vagina and everything? End quote. Dateline Washington, Thursday, 7 December. Presidential son, stripper impregnating crackhead, and guy who single-handedly got my channel monetized, Hunter Biden, was indicted this week on a dozen federal tax evasion charges, including 3 felonies. As part of the filing, it was revealed that Mr. Biden spent an eye-watering total of $872,000 on hookers and porn during the 4-year period ending 2019, which, for those fans keeping score at home, averages out to $218,000 per year, $4,192 per week, and $599 per day. And that's just what he reported to the IRS. It doesn't include any drugs even, which I imagine this works roughly along the same lines as Hollywood budgets, where you spend an average of twice again the production budget on the marketing and the promotion. So long story short, as a semi-educated guess, that's probably on the conservative side, this dude basically spends half a goddamn $1 million per year on sex and drugs. Reached for comment, President and semi-animated cadaver Joe Biden said, quote, I love my son, and he is still the smartest guy I know. Because it takes a real galaxy brain sort of a genius to bang that many hookers and consume that many narcotics and still be alive at age 53. Now I gotta run because it's almost time for Murder, She Wrote. End quote. Dateline Kiev, Friday, 8 December. The Kiel Institute, a German research body that tracks donations to Ukraine, says that in the 12-month period between November 2022 and November 2023, individual monetary donations to the Ukrainian war effort have decreased by 90% on a year-over-year basis. Reached for comment, your favorite woke douchebag friend or family member said, quote, Ukraine? Come on, man, that is so last year. That's not even next current thing anymore. It's last current thing. And being a conscientious woke progressive means you are always singularly focused on next current thing. I mean, I replaced the Ukraine flag in my social media profile with a Palestine flag like weeks ago. You old fogies need to do a better job keeping track of current events. End quote. Reached for comment. Ukrainian President Muscle Shirt Jesus said, quote, sorry, can't talk now. I am too busy canceling elections, burning down churches, and ordering the assassination of anybody who questions the wisdom of my policies. You know, because democracy. End quote. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your Decline of Western Civilization News Roundup for the week ending in shit. I've only got 2 weeks to figure out what to get my wife for Christmas. And with that, we send it over to my distinguished and illustrious co-host, featured in the latest edition of People Magazine's Top 50 Most Influential Large Furry Hominids Under 50 list, your friend and mine, the one and only, Mr. Caucasian Sasquatch.